hands do the talking, man. My hands gonna make sure that it turns into the Lamont Roach show for sure.
My whole goal was always to go out there and put on a great performance, like every night.
Oh, he's a competitor. He wants to compete. You know what I mean? He wants to win. You know, he wants to, do more than the next guy. But he's also humble in a sense.
During the final face-off, GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach had a heated exchange before their upcoming fight. Roach boldly said, "He has never faced someone like me," and promised to win on Saturday night. Tank, calm and confident, responded strongly. Tensions are high as both fighters get ready for a fierce battle in the ring.
March 1st to come out victorious.
Lamont, hip-hop is really, how's the power look? You carried with you to 135?
Yeah, you know it.
Okay.
You know it might be better than it was at 30.
So you feel more comfortable with your throw, your punches and everything like that?
For sure. 5 extra pounds I don't gotta lose.
Okay.
How important is it for you to look for a knockout for this fight for Gervonta, not leave it to the judges?
I'm not necessarily stressing a knockout, but as you know, as I've been saying, this entire press run, this entire media run, I'm trying to knock any and everybody out. So if the opportunity presents itself, we're gonna take it for sure.
What makes you different than takes other opponents?
The IQ, the skill level, just being the overall cerebral assassin in the ring. He ain't never been in there with someone like me up to date. You know what I'm saying?
Losing the last 2 fights in the amateur have any effect on this fight?
Not necessarily, but it is a little get back that I gotta get for sure. For sure.
Going forward, no matter the outcome, like going up to 135, that's something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, that's a goal of mine. But regardless, I mean, after I win, I'm gonna defend that both until I feel as though I can't make 30 no more.
In the lead-up to the upcoming fight, Roach shows great confidence, saying, "My hands will make sure it's the Lamont Roach show." He highlights his plan to attack both Gervonta Tank Davis's face and body, trying to stop his opponent's rhythm. Roach's bold attitude shows his strong desire to control the fight and prove without doubt that he is the better fighter in the ring.
Andy Purewell for Boxing News. I'm joined by Lamont Roach Jr. here in New York. Lamont, it's good to see you. How are you feeling? It's fight week.
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good. Fight week, I'm very excited.
An extra 5 pounds to work with for yourself. How's that move up in weight been feeling?
It's been feeling great, man. I'm not struggling or killing myself to make weight. I don't normally struggle or kill myself to make weight neither, but it's just it's a better feeling. Them last 5 pounds is a big difference.
I have to ask you, Lamont, you go into this fight, obviously you're going to be the underdog. Do you thrive on that tag though, being the underdog?
No, just like my fight with Hector, I've been an underdog before. I've been doubted, I've been counted out, and you guys see what happens. So March 1st is going to be a repeat of that.
Whenever GervontaDavis fights, as he was mentioned up on the stage, there's a lot more attention on the fight. Instead of it being the GervontaDavis show, how do you make it the Lamont Roach Jr. show?
Go in there and let my hands do the talking, man. My hands going to make sure that it turns into the Lamont Roach show for sure.
I know you don't want to give too much away, but how do you break down GervontaDavis? How do you come out on top in this fight?
Punch him in the face, punch him in the body, keep punching him in the face. That's how it's going to stop. If he not going to be able to stop this shit coming to him. I'm sorry, excuse my language. He ain't going to be able to stop this.
One thing that we've seen with Tank, he obviously has that one-punch knockout power. For yourself, how do you look to try and stay switched on for 12 rounds so you don't allow him to find that shot to try and end the fight?
I'm not too worried about staying away.
Davis gives a calm and thoughtful reply to Roach's bold talk, saying, "It's skill versus skill. Whoever has better skill will win." This shows Davis's strong belief in his own technique and training. By focusing on skills instead of trash talk, Davis shifts the attention to the actual fight, suggesting that real talent will decide who wins in the ring.
What is he in for this Saturday night?
I rule the weekend. I rule the weekend for sure. He just doing what you have to do, trying to psych yourself out for the fight and things like that. But come March the 1st, it's all about skill versus skill, and who had the better skill that night is going to be the victorious person.
Renowned. Trainer Barry Hunter has announced that he will be in GervontaDavis's corner on fight night, saying, "Tank is like family to us." Hunter brings years of experience and a close personal bond with Davis's team. His presence is expected to offer valuable strategy and emotional support, which could help shift the fight's momentum in Davis's favor.
but I had to put that aside and look at his business, and that's what it is. I mean, it's gonna be love before and love after.
How did the relationship with you and Gervonta take place? You know, being in his corner now. Will you be in his corner come Saturday night?
I will be in his corner. Here's the deal. We got a long history. Calvin called me years ago. Gervonta was a little boy, maybe 8, 9 years old. Brought him up to the gym, and we've all been together ever since. Times when you don't see us, myself, and maybe Patrice Harris with him, we still write his fight plans up and everything. So we've been together for a long time.
Coach, can you just give us some clarification or understanding? Because the obvious question is, you know, is Calvin also going to be in that corner? And if not, why?
Oh yeah, you see him here now, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? See, I hear things, right?
Sure.
But nevertheless, Calvin will be there, Coach Barry will be there, Coach Boogie will be there, and Kenneth will be there.
Boxing. Analyst Showbiz The Adult gives a strong prediction, saying that Lamont Roach is likely to get knocked out early and in a brutal way. This view reflects what some experts believe, that Davis's power and skill could quickly overpower Roach. Such comments have added more excitement and debate before the fight, increasing the anticipation among fans and boxing experts.
I was looking at Lamont Roach media workout. Lamont Roach is going to be knocked out extremely violently, very early in the fight, and it's going viral. And I'm looking at his stance and his feet, and I'm saying Gervonta is going to knock Roach out by accident. I think he's going to knock him out just from muscle memory, just from his technique. Tank isn't the guy who just tries to go out and knock you out early. But I think he's going to be violent come Saturday. I think he's going to try to make a statement because Shakur Stevenson just fought with Padley. And so I think he's trying to send a message like, don't ever put this guy in my league. Even if, you know, Shakur was supposed to beat Padley and I supposed to beat Lamont Roach, here's the difference.
Champion boxer Stephen Fulton responds to critics who question Lamont Roach's decision to fight GervontaDavis. He explains that many of these critics don't fully understand the fighter's history or the differences between weight classes.
All right, last question, I got to ask you about a fight coming up.
That's because, you know, it is when before business actually get taken care of, I don't like to say it, because then if it don't happen, everybody like, well, what happened with this? Or, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So you take those little losses or however things don't go well in the dark.
But I'm gonna say I'm proud on both notes. I'm proud of the performance, and I'm proud of that move. That's a big move.
Yeah, that would be.
But last question, I gotta ask you about fight. You got Tank, Lamont Roach this Saturday.
Fan of the sport.
You gonna be in the building?
Fan of the sport. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm just gonna be a fan of the sport though. That day. May the best man win. That's good for both of them and their history as well.
I've been hearing people criticize the fight. Why is that a good fight to watch? Because for me, I think it's going to be competitive.
Only people that criticize the ones that don't know the history between the two or that don't know certain fighters in certain weight classes, I can say. But guys like me and everybody else that came up in my era, as far as like the amateur and stuff, I want to see the fight. Like I think it's a good fight because I know both of them and they got history. We all know of each other, things like that. So it's a good fight.
In a public training session, Lamont Roach showed his readiness by throwing powerful punches during his final preparations for the fight against GervontaDavis. This display was meant to highlight his strong physical condition and technical skill, sending a clear message to both his opponent and the audience that he is ready for the challenge. Roach also made a bold statement, saying he plans to knock out Davis and warned him not to start the fight slowly. He mentioned their amateur past, claiming he once knocked out Davis before. This adds a personal touch to the fight, suggesting Roach may have a psychological advantage and hopes to create doubt in Davis's mind ahead of their upcoming showdown.
Alright, I don't know if you heard, but Lamont Roach went on the Breakfast Club and said when y'all were amateurs, he whooped your ass. And he was the harder puncher back then, so obviously he thinks he's the harder puncher now. And he said when y'all get in the ring, he will be the bigger man. So he is gonna stand and bang with you because he got more power than you, bro. And he said that the fact that people think that you gonna knock him out, well, that's a joke to him. He don't see that happening because you better not start slow or you gonna be in trouble, bro, because you are just the beginning of his Hall of Fame legacy. It starts with you. He ain't have to negotiate with you because when he beat you, you are done because you're thinking about retirement. And that starts his Hall of Fame run. What you think about that?
Analysts have suggested that GervontaDavis operates on a different level compared to Lamont Roach. This view is based on Davis's track record, skill set, and past performances, showing a gap in experience and ability. Such assessments add to the pre-fight analysis, offering insights into how the fighters compare and what strategies each might use.
How come you're not fighting a Shakur Stevenson? How come you're not fighting Teofimo? How come you're not fighting Devin Haney? How come you're not fighting these fighters that we talk about all the time? Why are you fighting these people that we rarely know like that, bro? And you're trying to sell us wolf tickets. You're trying to hype us up, talking about he's the next one. He's a good fighter. And when you go into, there's levels, bro. Like the whole set, there's levels. Like there's Roach, there's Tank Davis, just another different level, you know? And
the professional opinions largely agree that GervontaDavis will score a knockout victory over Lamont Roach by the 7th round. This prediction is influenced by Davis's strong fan base and his history of quick, decisive wins. It highlights the expectation of an explosive performance, with many supporters confident that Davis will finish the fight within the given time frame.
Davis is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Davis is going to be able to win via KO in round 7. I think he's going to be able to brutally stop Roach, to be completely honest. And, you know, maybe it's a harsh way of putting it, but he was able to do it versus Martin. Martin let him onto the front foot, and Davis showed that he can just walk you down. I think he's going to be able to do that again. Roach might be able to land early to the body quite nicely at times and, you know, might be able to outthrow him like Martin was doing in that fight. But Roach, if he's just not throwing on the inside and just continually trying to go for big singular shots to the body or, you know, catch him with big overhands, then I think it's just not going to work out for him. I think Davis is going to be able to work that out very easily, find the openings very easily, and then, you know, Roach might be trying to slip and use his kind of Philly shell, but I still believe that Davis is going to be able to be better than that and to see a shot, to time a shot very well, to be able to brutally knock him out again and be able to score another huge knockout win for
featherweight. Champion Gary Russell Jr. offers insight into GervontaDavis's character outside the ring, pointing out that Davis tends to keep to himself and stays away from trash talk. This highlights the contrast between Davis's quiet personal demeanor and his aggressive persona inside the ring. Understanding this duality gives a more complete view of Davis, both as a person and a fighter.
And as far as Tank, I know that there's been a lot of rumblings in social media that you want that fight. Y'all went back and forth. You wanted that fight for a few years now.
We never went back and forth. I'm the only one that's been saying shit. Tank know to keep his mouth closed when it comes to me. He don't say too much. So.
Speaking of him, obviously, what do you think about this fight against Lamont Roach, man? Because there's a lot of people that are kind of iffy on it because, again, another guy moving up in weight. There's a lot of other guys that they prefer to Tank see fight, including yourself, Shakur, a lot of the other bigger names. What do you think about that fight? What was the first thought that came to your mind when that fight got announced?
I think the same thing that everybody else thought. Unfortunately, you know, Lamont Roach, he got in his feelings when I gave my honest opinion. So, like I said before, after you fight Tank, win, lose, or draw, if you really feel some type of way about what I said, in my honest opinion, then make me your next opponent right after Tank. I'll fight you at one.
GervontaDavis reflects on his career, acknowledging that it may be coming to an end soon. He expresses a strong desire to give great performances in every fight and stresses his commitment to being a good father.
Fight Lamont Roach. What has he done to deserve to be in the ring against you?
He's a world champion himself. He's coming up and weight to dare to be great. So we fought before, you know. So it's history. It's history in that. There's two guys that's trying to be great.
These thoughts show a more reflective side of Davis, focusing on personal growth and his legacy beyond boxing.
I'm the type of guy that, I really don't like pay attention to that because I'm still in the mix. So I just got to keep my head grounded, stay grounded and just, my whole goal was always to go out there and put on a great performance like every night, so I can't really say right now because I'm still in the mix. Like I said, but hopefully when it's all said and done, I'll be one of them top great fighters. For sure.
How soon is it going to be before you're done? Because on several occasions, it's almost like you're alluding to, you only have but so many fights left. You're looking to walk away from the game. How close are you to that, being undefeated and unblemished with some big fights out there for you to get?
It's close for sure. It just I don't know. It's a little draining. I just want to step back for a little bit and just focus on me personally. I feel like I've been doing this for some time now, and I just want to give myself a break.
Further discussing his future, GervontaDavis mentions his intention to retire as part of his journey toward becoming a better person. This decision seems to be driven by a desire for personal growth and a life beyond boxing. Davis's thoughts on retirement show his understanding of the physical and emotional toll of boxing, as well as his readiness to take on new challenges and roles in his life.
So much love. Have you have you had any times like, maybe I was tripping a bit?
Yeah, I do be having those thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's also too, I want to get myself together though.
Which is much more important.
Yeah, being more there for my kids, going to school, just building myself up as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a great human being. That's what I'm focusing on.
You mentioned at the next stage of your life you wanted to seek therapy, become a better person. What does that actually mean? Like, what do you want to get out of this therapy?
Just healing myself.
Coach Mayan Flowers gives insight into GervontaDavis's relentless drive, highlighting his fierce competitive nature and strong desire to learn. Davis approaches each training session with the goal of beating his previous performance, always striving for improvement. This commitment to self-betterment is a key part of his success, showing the work ethic that fuels his achievements in the sport.
Tank's work ethics in the gym.
Oh, he's a competitor. He wants to compete, you know what I mean? He wants to win, he wants to, do more than the next guy, but he's also humble in a sense because there's a lot of things that he wasn't good at that he had to learn and watch and sit back and then, okay, now I got it. Push myself, but was humble enough to learn and listen to a lot of things that he was able to do. He has never done before. And that's kind of hard to do to people, man, to really say like, listen, man, if you do this, I know it don't really directly correlate to boxing, but I promise you it's going to help you in the ring. That's hard to introduce to people, you know what I mean? And then them trust you this late. It's not like I've trained Tank since he was 6 or 7 years old or since he's been 12, like I've coached Scooter. So that, I was fortunate that there was some trust there this late.
Esteemed trainer Bozy, Yis offers strategic advice to those facing GervontaDavis, warning against engaging in direct exchanges with him. He emphasizes that Davis's counterpunching ability and power make trading punches a risky strategy. This insight suggests that opponents should use a more tactical approach, focusing on movement and defense to counteract Davis's offensive strengths.
I think that's be a good fight. I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank.
Lamont would be moving up. What would he have to do to make that fight?
Oh, he moving up?
Yeah, it would be. He's the champion at 30.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have to go with Tank.
What does he need to do to make this competitive?
Don't trade with him. You got to box, move, time up. But it's difficult when you fight Tank, man. It's difficult when you fight him. Tank sets you up with all types of shots, man. And also, like I tell people, Tank can box when he want to box.